Welcome back. You may know my next guest from shows like Nickelodeon's Victorious and films like Zombieland. He also starred the newest edition of the Resident Evil franchise. Welcome to Raccoon City. Avan Jogia rose to fame as an actor, but that label hasn't limited him. He's part of a band just directing his first film, and in 2019 became a published author with a book about exactly what we're discussing today, what it means to be mixed race in today's world. The book is called Mixed Feelings, and it explores Avan's emotions surrounding race, identity, religion, and family based on his life story. He joins us now from Canada. Avan, thank you so much for joining us. This book is such an intimate story of your journey. For background, your dad is Indian British and your mom is English Irish. I'm sure, like the rest of our guests, at some point in time, someone would say to you, "What are you?" How did you learn how to answer that or not answer that?
It's an interesting question, right? I mean, I think it seems innocent enough, and I think on its own, outside of maybe cultural context, it is innocent. People are curious, you know, and I think all things equal in an equal world, that would be a completely innocuous statement. It would just be like something pretty normal to ask somebody, right? But things aren't all totally equal, and so therefore, it does start to feel like some sort of it starts to grate on you with enough exposure, enough times being asked, like, so who are you? Like, where are you from? You start to realize that you are in some way other because people keep on checking in on this very particular part of the way that you present, you know? So I think I didn't avoid I think like a lot of your other guests, it was a matter of just at first answering the question pretty honestly, then now starting to see or sort of wait to find out where that question's coming from.
Right. And I think you make that fantastic point. I think there are so many people who ask it out of a genuine curiosity of what's your background? And then there are others that maybe cross the line or say things like, oh, that's why you're attractive. Or that's why you, and then that follows. Or that's why your hair is like that.
Yes.
And I've talked to people
it becomes this sort of way of like, oh, now I know how to interact with you because I found out you're black or you're brown or you're Asian or you're Icelandic or whatever it is. I now get a little bit worried or like a little bit cautious when now people are trying to put cultural context, their cultural socialized context, which might be, you know, incredibly racist. It might not be, I don't know, but they're trying to culturally figure out how they feel about you based on your race, rather than just being infinitely curious, which is fine.
Which is fine. You know, it's been fascinating also to watch your career and the range of it. You've taken on many identities in your acting roles throughout the years. This latest role, the classic video game character Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil. I am scared just saying Resident Evil, full disclosure. The movie is based on this multi-million-dollar franchise in the video game. When you take such huge roles like this, and obviously a lot of money behind it, a lot of interest in it, does identity ever come into play in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, this character, you know, in the original series presented as a white character, and so, you know, I think there was a lot of there's some times during the process online that you were exposed to a certain level of people being upset that, you know, you don't fit the profile of the character as they envisioned, and that's just a matter of people being passionate about their characters, and you know, and that's, we can get into a number of other reasons why that is. But I would say, just in acting in general, the thing that got me into writing this book was that acting really does ask you to find out who you are or how you present. Like, it's really it demands of you. It's like, oh, what's your race? Because you know, you have to fit into these castings. You have to figure out the industry has to figure out what to do with you, and so your race comes up pretty quickly. And being, you know, originally when I first broke into the industry, I was the ethnically ambiguous kid, you know, that was it. It's like, you need a little bit of something, and you don't want to really ask too many questions as to what.
Here's your guy. Here's your guy.
Yeah, I'm your guy.
Well, listen, that may be how things started, but certainly you have navigated it in a wonderful way in both being part of this multi-million-dollar franchise and writing this book. And I highly recommend that if there's a child in your life or someone in your life, you should share this with them, because there's a lot of pain that can come with this conversation, and we've heard it through this hour. And I really appreciate you, Avan, joining us and talking about this. Your acting is brilliant, but this book is phenomenal, and it could certainly save lives and make kids feel less alone. Thank you so much. And by the way, Avan, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, scares me saying the name of this film, is now playing exclusively in theaters. And Avan's book, Mixed Feelings, is available everywhere books are sold.